This is the first in a series of videos that I'm going to take a look at drawing an alloy wheel or an alloy rim and a tyre. In this video I'm going to look at some of the commands listed here, but in addition to that there will be the usual stuff of drawing defining sketches and what have you on that there, and adding relations as well. But to start off with, I went about drawing a rim just to see what it was like. This is the first version that I done to get an idea of what I wanted to draw, and we're going to start by drawing this now on the right hand plane. It's going to be a slightly modified version from that one. So to start off with, it's handy to have a few construction lines, and that's what you see drawn here. I started from the origin, which is quite important for later on, and I'm not going to repeat the sizes. You can see them on the video, so you can follow those sizes that are shown there. Quite important that we start out drawing on the right plane as well too, for how the image is going to end up. And I'm going to draw a profile here of the rim. I'm not being very exact with it here, it's just a general shape, and you can follow the kind of rough outline of that there. It doesn't have to be the same as it, but I suppose it's just probably handy to have as a reference. I need to put in certain sizes. You can get caught out with this here by putting in dimensions and something moving in relation to the overall thing, as you can see here on the right hand side. But if you can shuffle dimensions around, and you can get around that sort of thing as well too. Like I say, the dimensions are not terribly important here, but for the design of this wheel it's important enough, in the sense that I have a bit of a curve here that I want to draw on this, that is going to feature on one part of the alloy. So other important things that we have here as well too, you can see that I'm working my way towards defining this. Anything that's black is defined, anything that's blue is still yet to be defined, and there's ways around some of these things as to how to do these. The spline that I'm using here, I'm just using a 2-point spline, and I'm putting in a relation here. You can see on the little bar that I've picked a triangle, and I'm making it a vertical relation there and a horizontal relation in the other one. I'm going to mirror this here now. It's very important that you don't have it closed in the middle for when you're mirroring across here, that there's a gap there which I've highlighted. And there's the profile now mirrored, and I've put in a line here, a reference line, an axis, which I use from that bottom line, so you can see where I put in my reference, and I just select the profile, any part of the profile, and for my revolve I pick the axis, and it's as simple as that. So now I've got a profile of one part of the alloy rim shown here, and I've put it into the isometric view, and I've put on a section view here as well too, just so that you can see the profile as it's been revolved there. And I can turn on the axis as well too, on and off, and I can drag it as well too. It'll still stay in the center there, and these are useful tools here. I want to put in another plane now, reference plane. I'm going to use the axis as a reference, and as you can see there, I'm just floating through the different planes there to see what I'm coming up with. And I'm going to go to the top plane, and you can see there's a perpendicular relation there that I'm picking in that. So I'll pick it again, and I pick my perpendicular relation on the top plane, and you can see I have a new plane as a reference plane drawn in there now. So what I'm going to do here now is I'm going to draw another part here. It's not actually part of this initial part of the rim, and there's a reason for that. There is that when I cut away stuff, I want to have this bottom part left. So I'm drawing a center line, and I'm drawing another line. It's above the axis line. I'm going to put in a dimension from that there, 16, and I want to join from a point here down the center somewhere. I want to draw a line here anyway, and I'm going to draw a spline then up to meet the top point here. Not terribly important, again, these dimensions, these things can vary quite a bit. If you want to just run by my references, that's fine. I'm kind of winging it here a wee bit on the sizes, so it's not overly important. I want to join those 2 points with a spline, and I want to take apart at the front as well too with a spline. So I'm just drawing a line out here now to get my front reference point off the front of the alloy, and again a size is placed in there, but again a few millimeters here or there won't make any difference. And I have a line drawn here horizontally, or sorry, vertically, for the front part of the alloy, and I'm putting in my dimension. I think I run with the same size dimension at the front and back, and you can see here I've picked out two curves here, and I'm using that intersection curve, and that can get me the curve at the top and the bottom. You can see I'm highlighting them here. It's got both of those here, and they're actually included now on that sketch on that plane, so it gives me a point of reference where I can join my spline to, and I can put in whatever references I want there, horizontal or vertical references in each of those. The only thing you have to be aware of here, because we're going to use this as a revolve, is that the intersection curve has brought it in at the top and the bottom, and I only really want it in the top part of this here, so I'll have to delete those ones at the bottom. I may have already done that there at this stage. So again, I'm just messing with sizes here, and I'm going to put in a spline in that front part. These are only reference sizes again. I'm not really running by anything in particular. I'm putting a little bit of a curve on this here because I don't want it just a perfectly kind of square edge on the front of the alloy is all I'm doing here. And again, putting in a few sizes to make it defined. So I'm generating a profile for a second body within this one drawn. And I have a spline here. I don't want it to go right out to the edge of the rim. I just want it somewhere in the middle of the rim, and I want a bit of a feature, a shape on this here. You could go more extreme if you wanted to with this, but this will be fine for me. And again, you can use the bars and handles to move that around, lengthen the line or shorten the line or change the shape and what have you. And I'm going to use a trim tool here just to get rid of that little bit at the top. And just a handy way out here is sometimes just to define a particular part of the sketch and get you away without having to put in a whole load of dimensions. So that looks pretty good there. I've got a profile now for the inner part of the rim, and I can rename that there, so call it profile. And I'm going to revolve that again now. And revolve it around the axis, and you can see it's left a hole in the middle of the rim. It's kind of a speaker type shape that's drawn there, so you can see there's the profile. I'm going to change that. It'll make a bit of a curve on the back of it. Might look a little bit better when I take my cuts out. And now I can pick my profile and I can go revolve. One important part here is I don't want to merge the result, because I want the two of these things separate, because when I cut away out of that one there for the next video, it's going to leave the pattern that's underneath, and we can take a look at that in part 2.